Good morning. It got cold. Winter crept up on us really quickly. It was decently temperate just like a week ago, and then boom, it got cold over the weekend. It's surprisingly warm this morning though, so maybe we're headed back into the warmth. I wore my coat, but I wish I hadn't have now because that sun is really warming me up. But regardless, the people doing the farmstead here, they are continuing to bring in supplies and finish the house and everything, so that's cool. I'm not far away from my house, but I don't want to go far today because I expected it to be cold. And now I don't want to go far because I expect it to be too hot wearing this coat. Isn't that something? All right, so anyway. Let's see if let's get up here and admire this sunrise here. Okay. It sure is pretty. Look at the striated clouds. It's like I did that with a fan brush on a canvas. It's pretty. I miss painting. I miss a lot of things. And I think we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to go out of the sun so I don't roast. So let's go back this way. Lately on my mind, I've been thinking about all the things that I used to like, the things that used to motivate me, the things that used to give me fulfillment or at least some semblance of it. And I don't just mean the ugly things, the hedonism, the partying, the drinking, that kind of thing. That's when I was much younger. I mean, all of the things I've enjoyed over the years. Reading fiction novels, watching shows, high quality shows like HBO's like Rome and the original Stargate SG-1, things like that. I think about the role-playing games I used to play with buddies, BattleTech and D&D and all the different World of Darkness games like Wraith the Oblivion and Werewolf the Apocalypse and all that shit. And I think about the things that used to occupy my mind. That person is gone, maybe even dead and can't come back. And there's a truck coming. There's not usually traffic this early here. I don't even know who that guy is. Huh. Oh well. I don't know. I don't know really who to be anymore. Because the last 10 years of my journey, it makes me feel sick and wrong that I ever liked or enjoyed or indulged in the things I used to. And I don't even mean the stuff that's like obviously bad. Like, the obvious degenerate stuff. I'm not even talking about that. I mean regular stuff. Like, I used to love to create stories and draw maps and make D&D adventures or scenario adventures for other games. I used to love to create. I used to paint. I even sculpted some when I was younger. I used to make beautiful landscape watercolors. I became good with acrylics. I even learned how to do oil paints. It was too expensive to get into. I never got into it, but I learned how to do it. I used to love video games. I used to play video games all the time and lose myself to it. It was like a drug for me. But around 2013, 2014, I started really mentally maturing, entering into my 30s. And I realized things were wrong. Like I've told you guys before, 9/11 never sat right with me. The way that the war from Iraq all the way to Afghanistan through the first and second Obama terms never sat right with me. I knew something was wrong. And then around 2012, 2011, a friend of mine got me started watching Ron Paul's Liberty Report, or whatever it was called back then. I started learning about, right-wing libertarian stuff, ANCAP stuff. Learned about the evils of central banking and where fiat currency comes from and why it's so bad. I think we're going to go back into the trees, but I wanted to walk up here and show you guys how pretty it is here. I just think it's gorgeous, and I'm very thankful to live here. It's my beautiful Appalachian Shire. I live just over that way. But it sure is pretty here in this little farmland area. All right, let's keep walking. So, well, I dropped the phone there. I'm glad I didn't break it. So, why am I talking about this today? Because it haunts me, and I feel like I don't have a self anymore. Let me explain. I started with 4chan. I started with YouTube of the early teens. Stefan Molyneux, Sam Harris, you know, all the debate bro stuff. I started listening to just anything that was popular on YouTube, like 13, 14, 15 years ago. And then by about 11 years ago, I was pretty switched on that something was wrong in culture. Because I could already tell, especially thanks to Stefan Molyneux, that I was lied to about a lot of things. And so were my parents. So I knew that these lies were old lies. And so that really started pushing me a certain direction. I wanted to know more. I wanted to figure out things and find out, you know, who are the teams? Who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? Are there any? And so I had to really break myself of all of the anti-white, anti-Western, anti-reason protocols that were instilled in me by not just the liberal media, but by everything. By Christians that raised me and taught me dumb shit. By schools and school teachers who were atheists and taught me lies and wrong, dumb shit. What do I mean by that? I mean things like we all bleed red, melting pot, land of opportunity, just like all of the usual American machine lies, right? I realized that, hey, wait a minute. All this homosexuality and transgenderism that I was taught is okay and that I should tolerate, how come these people are terrorizing me now? How come they're terrorizing the place where I live? How come these people are not tolerant of us? And then I started realizing, wait a minute, it's not just the homosexual Dave that lives down the street or homosexual Sally. No, it's these activists. It's these spiteful mutant Marxist type people that utilize identity as a tool of destruction. And I had to cope with that because I'm atypical. You guys know that I'm intersex and I've long struggled with gender and sexuality. I've told you guys this many times. So I always thought that it was noble or good to be accepting of people who were aberrant, who were different, who were defective like me. But no, we shouldn't be. Because to accept is different than to tolerate. We should tolerate people with healthy tolerance. But see, that's long gone in the American zeitgeist now. I learned that the hard way. Because they were not tolerant of me at all when I started voicing counter opinions at university, at the hospital I worked at the clinic, the satellite clinic I worked for. To speak anything cross about the anti-white, anti-male American order of propaganda and cultural lies. It's like everyone who is in that system feels attacked and they retaliate. And I learned that the hard way too. So by 2016, 2017, my eyes were really opened by the whole Trump thing. Because I was paying attention. I was like, hey, I remember Donald Trump. He's a funny meme guy. He's a rich, powerful asshole that, you know, some type of liar and salesman and shit from New York. I've seen him on TV and, you know, he just sounds like a crooked New York businessman mafia guy. Like, and I was like, he's running for president? Wow. So I started paying attention and I wanted to see what was going on. And I realized lies was going on. Like big. So blatant. So crazy. And I thought, surely this is the proof that the people I work for, the people I work with, need. And I started sharing that and it got even worse. I became even more ostracized. And so around 2017 is when I really became a warrior. So I've been doing this for like 7 years. And I lost myself. I became a different person. A sad person. An empty person. A broken person. Nothing really brings me fulfillment or joy anymore. I try reading novels, I try reading nonfiction. I try creating games, like drawing maps and making stories and stuff. I'm going through the motions I used to do before all this started. Like I said, a few months ago, I started going to the gaming store where my old friends still play tabletop games, and they play Age of Sigmar now. And I spent a few $100 and they helped me get started with the small army. And every other Sunday now, I've been going to play with them. My husband and his friends, they started playing tabletop games again too. So once or twice a month, I play stuff with them. Not usually stuff I write or create, but occasionally. And none of it feels good. It feels like something I did when I was a kid and I grew out of it. And I hate that. I hate that. Because I have nothing now. Nothing. I practice Christianity with my mother, but I don't believe in it. So that's no solace for me. That doesn't help me. My husband, my cousin, my best friend around here, my friend group, my mother and her husband, none of them want to hear anything about culture war or anti-white narrative or propaganda or COVID lies, or they don't want to hear about anything that I know about, that I'm passionate about. So where does that leave me? It leaves me empty with nothing. And I don't know why, but it's like every time I sit down to do something that used to fulfill me, I get angry and sick to think about how subverted I was and how I wasted my whole life not fighting. But now that I'm older, I have a new take on that. I didn't waste my life. I enjoyed my life. I had fun all the time. I was surrounded by people. I traveled. I had fun. I played video games. I did online games. I would visit people. I would take road trips. I used to have a life that was fun. That's gone. So why am I angry and sick at myself for having enjoyed all of that? There's something wrong with me. And I think it's because everything is so fake and such a lie that I doubt everything. I don't know which of my own thoughts and my own emotions are genuine or which are a product of deep-seated meme pathogens or tricks of propaganda and news or lies that were enshrined in me I haven't purged yet from when I was a kid. All I can think about is propaganda and spin and narrative and culture war. I see it in everything and I can't escape it. And I think it's permanently damaged me. And I'm trying to pull back the stick. I've been trying for a long time. It's not going much better than it was. All year this year, I've been trying to do nothing that has to do with culture war stuff, if I can help it, outside of the days that I work. So Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. But it's hard. I can't stop thinking about this stuff. And the problem is, I don't know what else I can do to think about. Or what else I can do to make me think about something else, I mean. I don't know. I try. I sit down, I'll open up a website called AON, Archive of Nethys, right? It's a huge stockpile of all of the Pathfinder D20 stuff, and they have links to all of the other D20 stuff. I also know about, there's a Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons website too that's like a wiki. Sometimes I'll open those because for most of my life, I'm a nerd. I get peaceful enjoyment from just reading gaming material. Reading about just all the prestige classes for this particular niche of Dungeons and Dragons, or reading this particular rare, weird splat book for Wraith the Oblivion, or something like that, right? I used to just love reading that stuff. It would make my mind alive. That's a loud vehicle. What is that? Okay, it's not coming this way, thank goodness. I used to read, and my mind would go places, and I would be happy. And I would go to bed and have beautiful dreams of make-believe fantasy stuff. That's all gone. I can't get it back. And nothing gives me any fulfillment or joy at all. Nothing. I put on a good show. I talk a good game. I encourage people with the right words, but I am empty and in pain. And I have nothing but a troubled mind. And I'm angry and disgusted at who I used to be. And that doesn't go away. And that has supplanted all of my other emotions. So I'm just an angry, self-loathing, agent of counterculture. And that's all I have. That's all I am now. That can't be healthy. I want a way out of this. I want a way to fix myself. But I don't know how. I've been trying all kinds of stuff. Been trying different types of exercise, going walking in different places over at my husband's house. I tried talking to my mom about this, but she's just fucking Jesus nut. So all she does is talk about God and Jesus and faith, and it's like she's a broken fucking record like every retard around here. I'm so sick of that. And again, I know it sounds arrogant, but being really intelligent is hard. I have a very high IQ. I always have. I have ADHD, so my mind doesn't stop. I don't take ADHD meds because they make me numb. And I feel like there's a massive intellectual barrier between most of my family members because they're just not smart. And unfortunately, that's most people are just not very smart. And so just on a raw intellectual level, it's almost impossible for me to find anyone here that I can talk to without having to like dumb down what I'm saying by 80%. So I feel alone. I used to be able to talk to my husband, but 8, 9, 10 years ago, he just walled off everything that had to do with philosophy and politics and stuff because he says it just filled him with anxiety because it just makes him realize how fucked society is and there's nothing he can do about it. So he doesn't want to talk to me about important shit like that anymore. And my mind was hungry for it. And so I went looking elsewhere. And that's what led me to being an activist and having a YouTube channel. And I don't know if that was the right choice for me. Because I have an estranged relationship with my best friend husband guy. Where basically what I've made my life about these last 8 years, he doesn't want to know anything about. And why is my phone starting to get choppy? Okay. It's telling me that I'm running out of battery. Oh my God, I am. How long have I been talking? I've only been talking 18 minutes. Okay, I better wrap this up. I didn't know my phone was that low of battery. Anyway, why am I making this video? Because I want you guys to know that I'm not going to be doing this forever. I like Discordant Dragons. It's fun. I enjoy it. But I like doing the streams with Chris on Thursday night. But I want to find a way to not have to think about all this stuff all the time. I want to find a way to heal me. And if quitting what I do, if stopping Discordant Dragons and stopping doing all this culture war stuff is what I have to do, I'll do it. It might be, because I don't want to go to marches and protests anymore. I did all that. I don't want to be an activist anymore. I did all that. I don't want to have to care every day and to be a firebrand for a movement or an ideology or just to stop a hostile ideology or movement. I'm exhausted. I've been thinking about this nonstop with my powerful brain for over a decade. And it's hollowed me out from the inside, and I don't even know if there's a person me left anymore. But I want to try to find that and build that. So I don't know what's coming. But I want you all to pray for me if you pray, and to advise me if you are in the advising mood. But I don't know, man. Like, I just want to feel something that comes from me again. Something enjoyable, something that will give me fulfillment and joy. But I don't even know if I would recognize what that feels like anymore. It's been so many years and I've become so self-loathing. I don't know. But anyway, my phone's dying, so I'm going to have to wrap it up. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you Thursday. We're doing, I forget the exact topic, but we're doing a proper Empire of Lies episode this Thursday, so I hope to see you there. And make better choices than I did, and avoid becoming consumed by this war. Focus on the small, on the local. Focus on the things that you can influence and control personally. Like, building good things around you and your life, becoming invested in local community, that kind of thing. Because, man, I made all this impersonal and I lost myself. I don't want you guys to make my mistakes. But then again, you're probably not a mutant weirdo like me, so you may be all right. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a great week. I'll see you Thursday night. God bless.